Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back to the video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of the Joker, the bank robber, the gold label McFarlane exclusive figure. This is from the Dark Knight movie wave. I'll be talking about the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to know how to support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at the front of the box. This side. The back, which I really like this. The other side. Top. And a bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at the figure outside the box. As always, it do come with a card. This is the front of the card looks like. The back of the card. It does come with accessories, which I did not know. It comes with a right trigger finger. Comes with a left fist. Just black, not much to it. And a regular stand. Actually, it also does come with a different head sculpture, which is similar to the one we've seen before. It's going to be the Joker head sculpture. And, you know, I'll just compare it right now. And in terms of actual differences, there really isn't. I mean, to be completely honest with you, it's practically the same. The main difference, so actually I did notice, it's going to be, notice, wow, I can't spoke today. It's going to be the actual white paint. This is more like a white paint. This is like egg with a little bit of brown. You can see that right there. Look at that. You see what I mean? This one has like a different shading on it compared to the original one. It's very subtle, but you see it. But apart from that, pretty much identical in terms of the sculpture design. But I do like how they actually painted it just a little bit different on this one. Alright, now let's take a look at this figure. We'll start off with the head articulation. Left, right, good. Up, down, very good. Very loose joint too. Shoulder, ooh, it's a little stiff right now, but there you go. Shoulder articulation, bicep, elbow, wrist, if I can get the wrist, and the torso as well. Torso, it's not the greatest. I'm actually a bit concerned it's going to break. It's not the greatest, but it's fine. It's feasible. So in terms of the upper body articulation, it's good overall. It's just a torso. It's a bit concerning because I feel like I'm going to break it. But one thing I've noticed that in terms of this figure for the articulation, since some of the parts of this figure you can actually remove, like you can actually remove the hands, so the joints feel really loose. You can see that. So it's not a bad thing, but something that I noticed right away that, like, I don't know, I feel like I might break this or something. So again, it's very subtle, not a big deal. It's just something that I noticed. All right, leg articulation, good. Knees, oof. Good. Ankles and toes. Lower body articulation is good as always. Now let's talk about this figure itself. And man, this is the figure that I wanted. When it was announced, I thought it was fake, but you know what? It's true, and come on. Right away, this head sculpture looks fantastic. This is from the bank robbery scene from the Dark Knight movie. This is going to be the introduction to the Joker. If you've not seen it, definitely check it out. But the head sculpture looks good. Looks similar to the mask from the movie, but that paint job on here, the sad face, or grin I should say, the blue, the little red marks here on the side and the nose. Then you also got the eyes in there too, which I don't know if you guys can see. You can see it right there. Very subtle, but I like how there's eyes in there too. And I actually thought it was going to just be all black because the actual card itself, you can see, it's all black inside the eyes. But actually, it's not. It's actually, it has eyes inside, which is pretty creepy because once you see it, it's like, oh man, he's like looking at me. But it looks really cool. Then you got here the hair sculpture, again similar to the movie, and paint job on as well too. And so this head sculpture looks fantastic, looks solid, and it looks similar to the one from the movie, and just so good. And I'm so glad I got one of these figures because when it was announced, I was excited, but I was concerned it's going to be gold label. Then came out, it was going to be gold label. Then it came out, it's going to be San Diego, and it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with scalpers, but I was able to get it for $30, which I'll talk about the price in a bit. In terms of the arms, it just has a good jacket, which is fine. There's nothing great about it. It's very clean arms, not much to it. The hands, plain black. Then you have here the undershirt. I like the sculpture design, not the sculpture design, the paint job on it, like it's white with blue on it. It's a little sculpture design. In terms of the dress shirt, the jacket is fine. Got some pocket here, the back of the jacket, and then the other side. And again, this jacket is just the jacket. This sculpture design on him is pretty simple. Got a buttons on here as well too. And so overall, the upper body, it's fine. It's clean looking. It's just a jacket with undershirt. The sculpture and detail is fine, but the biggest highlight is going to be, of course, this head sculpture. This is the one thing that people want, and I am glad I got one, and it looks really good. Lower body, they're just regular Joker pants. You can see the sculpture design there. You can kind of feel it as well, too. They're just charcoal gray, not much to it, but you got some baggy pants on there. And the back, similar to the front, just that weird stripe design. Then you got the shoes on here. Very clean, simple shoes, right? Not much to it. And so, overall, the figure looks nice. It's a good looking figure. It's very clean looking. Not much to it. So, if you're going into this figure thinking it's going to be super highly detailed and sculpture design, you're going to be disappointed because it's not, though. But the main highlight's going to be this head sculpture, and it just looks sweet. And having it on hand, seeing it in person, I'm telling you, looks so much better when you see it in person, man. And it looks fantastic, and I'm so glad I got one of these. Of course, the main question is this really worth it? Should you go out and get this figure? For $30, for what you're getting, it's a little bit on the overpriced territory. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, I like the figure. I think the figure looks really, really, really good. But unfortunately, though, for $30, I feel like it's a little bit too much. Yeah, you do get a cool looking head sculpture design for the bank robber scene. You get an additional head sculpture for Joker, which I like and I appreciate that. But is it worth $30? Honestly, I don't think it's worth $30. To me, this feels more like a $20 figure, $25 tops, but $30 is a little too much, in my honest opinion. Again, I like this figure. I think the figure looks good, but for $30, I don't see the value of $30. If this came with extra accessories, maybe this came with a bag where you can put cash in it type of thing, I think that would be much better. But it doesn't. It just comes with the extra hands, which is cool, but that's pretty much it. And that's a bit of a downside because it is $30 though for this figure. But unfortunately, it is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so it's one of those figures you're going to have to get them now before they're gone type of thing. So overall, what do I give the Joker Bank Robber? I give it a thumbs up, but it's more of like a low thumbs up just because of the price. I like the figure, don't get me wrong, but I think $30 is a little too much for it. $25, sure. $20, yeah. But $30, it's like one of those things where if this was not a gold label exclusive figure, I would say wait for a sale. But unfortunately, it's not. It's a gold label one, so it's one of those figures where you have to get them now before they're gone. Here we have Joker from the Dark Knight movie wave, and of course, the bank robber Joker from the Dark Knight movie wave as well, too. And man, having these two side by side, perfect figures standing next to each other. You got the introduction to the Joker, and then of course you have the reveal of the Joker. But in terms of the sculpture design, there are some similarities. One, the pants. The pants are going to be very, very similar. You can see that style of pants also present on here too. But this figure also has a problem to where the knees don't really match the pants. It's not bad. It's just like, again, because you can see right here, look at the knees. Look at that. That's pretty darn bad. But when you look at this one, it's there, but it's not as bad. And also, too, the shoes are identical in terms of the sculpture design. Obviously, the paint's a little bit different. The dress shirt, it's different. The jacket, of course, is going to be different. But who cares, though? Because at the end of the day, what do we get this figure for? Is because we want to have these two standing next to each other. And yes, definitely get one of these before they're gone. Because you don't want to be paying triple or quadruple for this figure. Here we have the bank robber Joker next to the gold label Target exclusive Jokerized Joker. Hey man, I have no idea why McFarlane did this. Don't blame me for it. I'm just like, what the hell? Jokerized Joker. I no comment on this one. I mean, it looks cool. I like the color palette, but really, Jokerized Joker? Come on now, McFarlane. Come on. But yeah, what else can I say about this particular figure? So once again, this is the Jokerized Joker next to Bank Robber Joker. Here we have Bane. This is the Build-A-Figure for the Dark Knight trilogy next to Bank Robber Joker. And man, this is an interesting figure because it looks really cool when you build it, but they also made a gold label version of this one, which I'll be doing overview as well too, and giving my opinion on that particular version, I guess you can say, of that figure and the Bank Robber Joker. They both look really cool standing next to each other. The scaling works very, very well. I like how this one's taller just a little bit, but I wish he was a little bit more taller and more muscle toned. Wow, been a long day for me. But nonetheless, here we have Bane next to Joker. Here we have Harley Quinn, more comic accurate, next to Joker, obviously from the film or live action. And I wanted to see how these two look side by side. And it somewhat works because you have one that looks more like a clown. Then you have, of course, Harley Quinn. And it doesn't blend very well because, again, this is more comic accurate. And so you got the really bright colors. And it doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong. But it just doesn't work well having more of a comic accurate figure next to a live action figure. But I figured, you know what? So we're talking about Joker. You got to talk about, of course, Harley Quinn. And last but definitely not least, it's going to be Batman from the Dark Knight movie wave. This is a good looking figure, man. I am excited for the 6-pack Batman. Oh, it's going to look so, so good. Because that one has a regular cloth cape, which you can put it in the Batmobile. Which, that's a whole different subject, a different video. But here we have two iconic looking characters from live action. And of course, good looking figures. This Batman is just top notch. The detail, the sculpture design, the paint. Yes, it's not really accurate in terms of the film because this particular version of Batman has like a little bit of like light gray. But the movie one is more, not light gray, like dark gray. But the movie one's more black. And so the 6-pack one for Christian Bale has cloth cape. And from what I remember, it does have the black armor. Like a really complete black armor. So I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, the Bank Robber Joker from the Dark Knight movie. And man, these two look so, so good next to each other. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on this figure? Do you plan to purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of the Joker, the Bank Robber Gold Label Comic-Con exclusive figure, and on to the next one.